yeah, my bike wasn't the fastest. It definitely got called a dirt bike multiple times. It wasn't going to make me look cool online, but my bike gave me the tools to be the best rider that I could be. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Isocloser channel. I know it's been a minute. I've taken time to regroup, figure out what types of things I really want to talk about and add to the channel. As you guys may know, I have plenty of videos in the backlog. It's more if I want to present them and how I want to present them, because I don't want to present videos just for kicks or just to try to get views. And I noticed in myself a little bit of chasing, because I do want the channel to grow and I wanted to be able to inspire and impact many. I also wanted to be able to inspire and impact people who don't just ride motorcycles. And I think I was trying to do things that I may have seen from other YouTubers over the last 3 years that don't really align with my vision. And so before I did that, I wanted to stop and not really try to chase any views or anything like that, and make sure that whether it's 2 people who viewed it, 1 person, or 10, 20, 30,000, or 2.5 billion, that whatever I put out is something I am proud of, but more importantly, something that God is proud of. So, with that said, I want to give y'all a few updates. The last month or so of my riding career has been very exciting. I finally finished putting this bike together. I was going to make a whole video about that, but honestly, I don't feel like that's going to be useful unless I do a tutorial, and I'm not ready to do that well right now. So, but I did get this bike straight. I changed the rectifier. I fixed any and all wiring issues, changed the battery, changed the stator, changed the tires. There's a small oil leak with the stator. When I was trying to get it off, I used a knife, and I think I may have messed up the mating surface in a way that the gasket cover is not perfectly fixing, but it's a very minor leak, so it's been fine. I've ridden this bike now since I got it over 2,300 miles, and it sat for about 2 months, at least a month. So since I really started riding it after I fixed it, it's been about 1,500 miles already, 2 different states. And so we've been definitely putting in the miles. I've loved it. As you can see, everything's not perfect. I'm still getting screws and stuff like that for the bike. Don't do it. It really is a process. So, especially fixing the stator, waiting for the parts, learning how to do it, huge process. Shout out to the Real Riders, the group that has helped me out, have become good friends to me. Y'all really made me figuring this out possible, really. But I want to talk to you guys today about process. I realize it's something that most humans struggle with. Like I said, for the channel, I really wanted to go from, 100 to 200 to 300 to not working for someone else and working for myself intentionally and bettering myself and building my own brand and company, to making a living off of posting videos and new experiences and inspiring others. And that will come one day. It's just not today. And I've had to come to terms with that, no matter how many videos I put in or how much hours I put in. It's also very easy to look at someone else's 3-year journey and try to replicate it in 9 months, 8 months. And I think that provides a lot of frustration for a lot of people. I notice a lot of motorcycle riders tend to want to get their dream bike first, and a lot of YouTubers encourage people to get your second bike first. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It made sense at first, but I'm not really sure if that makes sense anymore. The SB650 was not really my dream bike by any means. It was what I figured would be the best first bike for me. But like I said, the dream bike I had wanted would be this VFR 800 and a R1. Imagine if I started riding on an R1. Now on the poor SB650, which I call Lazarus, particularly because of where I was in my life when I got the bike and what I was going through, and the story about Lazarus in the Bible in terms of Jesus resurrecting him. And I believe Lazarus even means the one who Jesus loves. I believe that's the case. But that bike has 12,000 miles on it. Needs new tires. I have ridden it to its extremes. I have now ridden it on a track. There will be a video about that. Yes, that bike has been a great learning tool for me. And I think at 2,000 miles, I thought I had outgrown it. But getting to see myself and my improvement and other riders who are on way faster bikes and their improvement, I realized something. That, yeah, my bike wasn't the fastest. It definitely got called a dirt bike multiple times. It wasn't going to make me look cool online, but my bike gave me the tools to be the best rider that I could be. And at the end of the day, when you're starting out, anything really, all you really want is all you really need is the tools to make you the very best you can be. Now on a motorcycle, it's easy to see the difference between the SB650, which tops out with me on it at least around 126, versus an R6, which is way faster than the SB650, and I know probably goes over 160. R1, which ungoverned can go to, who knows, 200 plus miles per hour, which is above 300 kilometers an hour for my international viewers. Shout out to y'all, because I appreciate you. Also shout out to all the people who have joined the YouTube channel from TikTok. If you guys do not know, I have started a TikTok. I started in June when I had switched from working as a software engineer, which I am actually working on getting back into. That's another story for another day. The TikTok has blown up. It's been excellent. So we're at like 1,400 followers on TikTok. So shout out to y'all for sure. That's been really exciting. I've been spending a lot of time doing that too. But there's a huge disparity when you look at a motorcycle for a beginner versus a more advanced motorcycle. You can see it. It looks cooler. It sounds meaner. It's bigger. But the funny thing is, as I just passed the road I'm supposed to be on, the funny thing is, you don't see it in life, like the difference between beginning stages and growth stages, end stages. You don't see it all at once, just like you would on a motorcycle if you put two side by side. Your growth stage on really any path you take in life is not necessarily going to be obvious, and because of that, it will be frustrating, just like it is for some people when people say their motorcycle sounds like a lawnmower. That doesn't mean it's time to switch. And I know what I found myself doing in the SB650 is losing contentment because I wanted to go faster, I wanted to keep up. I may not have been comfortable all the time, I didn't want to take all the wind, I was cold, all these different things. And it wasn't until I embraced what I could learn that I really became a better rider and was actually ready for a bike like this, because a bike like this would have not been useful for me if I hadn't, I'm not gonna say I mastered the SP650, but if I hadn't taken the path I did on the SP650, it would have been very unbeneficial, actually, because I would have dropped this bike just like in parking lots. Let's watch out for this gravel, especially because the power delivery in this bike is not linear in any way. This bike is really like having two bikes in one. If I didn't master the basics in the SV650 or get really good at the basics at the very minimum, then I would have found myself in a lot of trouble on this bike, and I may not even like motorcycle riding anymore. Me starting on the SV650 and graduating to this also had an effect that I never would have expected, where other riders saw how I rode on the SV650 and they would say stuff like, hey, come ride my BMW 1000, hey, it's okay, I want you to ride this Harley, or I want you to ride my 500, I want you to ride all these different things. Even I got to test ride this because the person saw me ride the SV650 and they trusted me. And I think, I mean, in a way, I was able to build trust from people who saw glimpses of me. And in our lives, we're kind of working on building trust from God, and He sees all of us. So I think it's so interesting how easy it is to get frustrated at growth stages where you're not where you want to be yet. But every time I've been in a growth stage and was disgruntled and then stayed in it, and I look back, there has never been a time where I was like, yeah, I didn't need that. Like, if I didn't have that growth stage, I would have been fine either way. I never look back at that. So, in the past, probably like 3 weeks, I have finally found contentment in my life, in general. I'm not saying I found happiness. I have my joy in God. I'm not where I want to be by any means, not at all. In fact, there's so many things that I want that have not happened. There are so many things I've been wanting for a long time that have not happened yet. But I have found contentment and I found peace, meaning that even though the things that would ultimately, or at least that I would believe would make me happy or would be a part of my ideal life, are not set in stone yet, or not, in many ways I don't even see evidence of them coming yet, I know that I'm fine. And I know that I found a way to be okay and to experience life and be grateful where I am, so that when and if, or if and when God does call me to the next stage of my life, I have, instead of complaining, decided to be grateful and see what can I do in this season that will make sure that by the time I leave this season, there's nothing that I left on the table. So like the season I'm in right now, I want to make sure, okay, yeah, I don't have anything that's making me that much money. How do I learn how to budget money I do have when there's no money coming in? How do I learn how to grow money I do have and balance the difference between growth, investment, saving when there's no money coming in? How do I keep getting up to go work for myself every day when there is no one telling me to do it, when there is no one paying me for it, when there is no gratification for doing it, when people may not view a YouTube video more than 100 views? How do I keep going, learning and becoming a better me, building the Isocloser brand? How can I serve others? I've started focusing on videography and even helped consulted a few pages and channels, even made a video for 1 or 2 people in this time period, all of which, if I was working for someone else, 1, I wouldn't have had time to do, but 2, like, I may not have even had the motivation to do because I was comfortable. being uncomfortable forced me to, okay, what edits can I make to this? What camera angles can I take? Oh, I don't have this excuse that I don't have someone to take videos, so I gotta figure it out. I also think that little minute things like, alright, how can I be better at managing my time? How can I schedule my day better? How can I get sleep but also work during the time I feel creative? How can I work when I don't want to? What ice do I want to be in the future? Do I want to read books? Okay, then let me read books now. Do I want to be someone that is early and on time? Or do I want to be someone that's running to be on time and often late? So I start working on being early to things, even calls, just checking in on friends. Like if we're going to talk at 5, I want to actually be ready at 5. So I just want to encourage y'all, just in case anyone's in that place in their life where they are frustrated and they don't see any benefit of where they are, and they're frustrated with God. They're wondering if God doesn't see them anymore, or they may even be questioning God's existence. I'm here to encourage you that He's still there, and if you don't believe in God, I still think the same principles apply. If you don't believe in God and you ride a motorcycle, I would challenge you to just consider the nature of what you do, the nature of the bike, and how many things are true but don't make sense to you, and maybe just explore faith a little bit, because it's there. So, or God is there rather. But yes, I just hope this encourages you guys. Stay in the process. You will be strengthened in the process, and when you go through the process, learn what you were meant to learn in there, you will be ready for the next stage. If you do not, you'll either stay in the process the whole time, or if you really just don't want to do anything and you complain and don't make any progress, then you may just end up forfeiting what you feel like you wanted in the first place, because you couldn't even be faithful over few things. Again, a verse from the Bible, whereas you've been faithful over few things, now I'll make you ruler over many, about being a good steward. So I hope this inspires you all. I wanted to just put some hope back into the world after this hiatus for me. And if you like the video, please drop a like. That really does help the channel and the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. But at the very least, if it inspires you or impacts you, I just want you to take it and use it in your life and share what you learned with someone else. And again, as I tell you guys things, this is in the middle of my life, so this is as I'm doing it. I don't communicate to you all as an expert. I communicate to you all as an explorer. I'm out here doing the same things that I talk about, and Lord willing, you guys will see the growth with me. So I love y'all. I will talk to you next video. Peace.